Thank you for coming out tonight to learn about school safety here at QBS and WHBI. We have a large, diverse panel of speakers who will be sharing some information that will be useful to all of us as parents of Queensbury children.
Our Board of Education is very committed to having safe schools, and at the same time recognizes that Queensbury Union Free School District is the hub of the community. So between the month of February and the end of April, there are two safety entrances that are going to be built in the elementary school. It will be a controlled entrance through the first door. Once a person enters the first door, they'll go to either the first or second window, depending upon where our greeter is. And the greeter will conduct a clearance check on the visitor. The person picks up an identification tag or a name tag that the visitor will wear when the visitor comes into the building. And then that person will go through the second set of doors, another controlled set of doors. In the intermediate school, it's the very same scenario, only a little bit different structure because the building is different. So the checkpoint is controlled. The person goes to the window, gets a name badge, and then is allowed through the second set of doors through a buzzer system too.
The district was awarded $1.9 million from the state to use as part of the Smart Schools Bond Act. The money comes with some certain criteria that we can spend that money on. Some of it is technology, some of it is high-tech security equipment. The money was split almost down the middle. Half of it's going to go towards technology, but the other half is going to go towards some of these things listed here so that we can upgrade, bring all the existing systems that we have up to current standards. In addition to buying equipment to improve security, we also do a lot of training, professional development. In the last school year, we did an active shooter incident awareness training through the New York State Department of Homeland Security.
Just like we train our staff, part of our training is also our students, training our students and going through these experiences that could come up. We do 12 fire drills a year, and really part of our fire drills isn't just to prepare in the event of a fire, but really rather if there's an emergency, how do we exit the building in an efficient and timely manner? Lockout drills refer to when we lock the perimeter of our building down. A lockout drill allows us to bring everybody in and lock the perimeter of the building.
So shelter in place is just staying put, but it's because of an obstacle that could occur out on the highway. Also, we do lockdowns throughout the year, but we have set those up so that any staff member in the building can call a lockdown. The minute we call a lockdown, this place goes silent fast. The kids all hide, so they're not in view of any of the windows or doors. And if you were to walk by any of the classrooms, you would be unable to see kids anywhere. We practice unannounced lockdowns too. This last lockdown that we did was unannounced. So you don't always want your staff to know what's taking place. Even though you don't want to scare the little ones, you want them to feel protected and safe in their school. But having an unannounced lockdown is much different than the staff knowing ahead of time. And this last one was unannounced, and it went really well.
All of our staff, and actually in every building and every room on campus, you would find one of these guides. And our substitute teachers who come are also aware of each one of these guides as well. And this really helps us understand what is the language. If we were to call a drill, it really unifies the language that we use, so there's no surprises on our staff's part. If they hear something come over the loudspeaker, everyone knows how to react and respond. And it really outlines our specific building level plan for, let's say, if we were to call a lockout, what is required for my response? What does the teacher need to do? What do we need for the students to do? And what language could I expect to hear for that? We all wear our badges, and you'll see these on us, but we also carry a card behind our badges that have all kinds of emergency numbers. We've just distributed this to our staff members. These numbers are included in the emergency management guide, so any substitute or anybody in the building would have access to the same numbers. But if we're in the hallway, like we spoke to before, anyone can call a lockdown drill if they see a potential threat. And this gives you at your fingertips those emergency numbers you need.
The last thing that I can't stress enough is that we have a see something, say something policy. If you see something as a staff, say something. Something that seems out of the ordinary. And our staff is very quick to report something to either of us as administrators.
On our school website, if you take a look and you go under the parent link, you'll actually see where there's school safety is one of the tabs there. We do keep that up to date. There are many things that we cannot post, and there are things that we can post. The things that we cannot post are things that we have some of our plans we do not want the outside to know. Those are confidential for a reason, because we want to keep our kids safe.
Well, we're very fortunate here on the Queensbury School campus that you guys have a dedicated person, she's a safety compliance officer for the school campus. And she works with our office and with some of the other key emergency responders throughout the entire county on a regular basis. She sits on the countywide emergency response preparedness committee. Almost annually, we have a full-scale exercise of one sort or another here in one of the buildings, which is excellent for the local first responders, the fire department and stuff, because they get to walk through all these buildings and learn where everything is.
The skills we practice are all perishable, and that's why we have to practice them so frequently. We live in an incredibly safe community, and it's easy to get complacent because not too many big things happen here. So if you don't practice frequently, when something does happen, you're not going to be prepared for it. So we take it very seriously. It's a serious job, and we work very closely with the state police. We've got blueprints, floor plans for every school in Warren County.
The school resource officer program has kind of shrunk as a result of budgetary concerns. We still need to have a presence in the school, and we still need to be a part of campus life, and we want officers to be familiar with faculty and staff as well as students to be familiar with the officers. So training is ever dynamic, it's always changing. These situations are fluid. They're always rapidly changing, and best practices keep evolving. So we try and stay on top of it.
If a call comes in from the school during the day that's reporting unusual activity, the cavalry will be here very quickly. Part of our plan with having officers come into the school every day is we get more people who are familiar with the floor plan and the layout, and therefore it's not a big hassle when you expect them to go to a particular location there and know where it is.
We're all trained to the same standard, so that when we respond, we kind of know what each other are going to do. So the interagency communication and response is already coordinated. It's something that we practice. So it's not as though we're coming and having to reinvent the wheel in an emergency situation.
And what can you do as far as safety and emergency preparedness is concerned? We use HyperReach. It's a reverse 911 system. It's through the sheriff's office. You can sign up through HyperReach. It takes less than 2 minutes. You can put your cell phone number in there. If there's an emergency at your house, you have your house address and information in there, you will get that information. Do you know how to make a to-go bag? Do you have an emergency plan yourself? Do you know what the school's emergency plan is? Have you reviewed it? It's on their website. Where you work, do you know if there's an emergency preparedness plan there?